Hey everybody, Cyrus Bonet here with Veterans Agents. I'm going to go over a quick market update. I know I haven't posted market update in a while because the market's just been kind of consistent and my previous posts have explained themselves basically. So I want to get you guys up to speed of what's going on in the market, predictions, what's going on. I'm going to go through this kind of quick, so be sure to connect with us if you have any questions or need anything concerning your specific situation. I do want to start off with after I go through this updates, I want to let you know we did come out with a blog, 8 ways to have a reduced mortgage when purchasing a home. We realize that their home prices are unaffordable right now, housing in general, but there's not a huge amount of change coming that I'm about to go over in the market report. So we put together a blog with each series has in and of itself blogs, videos, or tools that you can utilize to understand how you can get a reduced mortgage. Basically the basics, shopping lenders. We got a video on that, VA assumption loans, rate buy downs, discount points, market timing, a variety of other things that you can utilize. You can visit the blog on our website, Veterans Agents, and I'll make sure to have all the links to everything I provide you, tools, reports, blogs in the descriptions below. Second off, I want to make sure you guys are utilizing our new VAapp that we came out with. It is the ultimate VAapp. This app goes over a lot of stuff on the daily. Basically, you're going to get an updated VA rate for the day. This is an average rate across the board, across the nation of what rates are doing on par. This doesn't have discount points in there like a lot of lenders like, or their websites like to say, we'll give you 1%. We'll have you rate buy down at 1 or 1 point. This is the par rate, so it's a lot more reliable. Sales proceeds, BH calculator, rent calculator, all kinds of useful stuff in there for you guys to utilize. A link to that will be in our video description below as well. So great tools for you guys to use. If you want to come in here on the daily just to see what the markets are doing, I've built out the website and the APIs to update you. This is an old photo I put together that shows you the best times to buy and sell a home. Mortgage news, mortgage applications, expert predictions, the local data for Pierce, Thurston, and Kitsap counties. This will have everything in there. And I'm going to come back to this here in a second. So what I'd like to start off with is mortgage applications. This is refinance and purchases. As you can see, we did have a huge spike in these this is the last 5 years. So the first quarter of 2025, we've seen a rise in refinances and mortgage applications, but pulling the trigger is not so high because of interest rates. This is actual mortgage purchase applications. Though it's pretty low compared to COVID when everyone is in a frenzy to purchase a home, we are starting to see an uptick in the first quarter for mortgage applications for purchases. The trigger is not being pulled on those purchases though, as much as we typically see seasonality on the seasonality rate. And again, this is, if you look back at my past market update reports, the basics of everything happening is we don't have enough inventory, rates are too high, and homeowners are kind of stuck on their price, expecting it to be in this, COVID era pricing where it's just over the top. And we're going to go over that here in just a second. So not a lot of competition out there, buyers and sellers, but that doesn't change what could occur. Tariffs, Trump being in charge with rates coming down, that kind of thing. So before I jump into housing starts for new builders, in my prediction, Trump's in office making a lot of moves right now. And once we see rates drop, so if we come back here to mortgage applications, there's a lot of people sitting, these aren't just refinances, these are mortgage applications. They're sitting on those applications waiting for interest rates to drop, waiting for more inventory. And summer's coming where we see our peak inventories. This year, we're not seeing a bidding war season. We've had some, depending on your price point, 3, 4, 500,000 if the price is correct and the home is of value. But it's not like years past where we were seeing very intense bidding wars. So this is where you got your listed sale ratios that were 105%, 106%, 5-6% over list price. But since then, we're not seeing our typical bidding wars, especially this year. And so we're just waiting for something to occur. So interest rates is likely going to be it. The economy seems to be going in the right direction based off of a lot of the professionals out there. We should start seeing interest rates coming through the rest of the year. I do have another video I will put in the link here that states that we will see interest rates come down modestly based on all the professionals. I think we'll probably see a little bit more than modest rate reductions, but that's just my own personal opinion of it based on what's going on with Trump's moves so far. So as of right now, you don't have a lot of inventory, but do not be fooled. When rates do come down, and they will come down, whether it be this year or next year, we will see a housing crisis again where we have a lot of buyers that have been waiting a long time and not enough inventory. Builders have not been keeping up the demand that have been staying for so long. So this is a 5-year, even though we fell short of inventory in the COVID era right here, even, they started building, but then they slowed down again with the builds. So our starts aren't keeping up with the demand. Now, granted, things have slowed down and home builders are sitting on the market a lot longer. They're giving a lot of great incentives right now. Some cautionary tale there. Once those rates drop, that inventory is going to get eaten up right away, and we're going to be right back to a housing crisis and very likely intense bidding wars, overpaying. All right, so I'm not saying buy now. I'm saying take with caution by holding off. There's always that chance to refinance later at buying the rates now. So something else I go over in my 8 ways to have a reduced mortgage. Buy now, refinance later, and get ahead of the curve. So the overall thing there is housing's unaffordable, not enough inventory. People can't afford houses, so they're not pulling the trigger. When rates come down, everyone will flood the markets, eat up all the rest of the inventory, and we'll be back to over list price. So the list to sales ratios will be over 100%. Start waiving your home inspections, that kind of thing. For the doomsday, doom and gloom people out there, influencers like on YouTube saying housing is going to crash, housing markets are going to crash. Here's the foreclosure rates right now. There's so much equity in the markets that it's really not enough for people to actually foreclose on. As you can see, this was the housing crisis back in 2008. And this is today. This is post-COVID that we have. There's not going to be a flood of this bank inventory coming our way. There's just, again, too much equity in there. So be careful of the doomsday doom and gloomers out there. That's how they make their money, is by fear tactics, getting views on YouTube and Instagram and wherever else they can. Those guys don't have certifications in anything other than being an influencer. Even some of the real estate brokers out there that aren't jobs, so they jump on that bandwagon. I won't name any names, but they're pretty popular on YouTube right now. So let's dive into, and then real quick, mortgage rates. As you can see, once interest rates started to spike in 2022, they've just kind of maintained. They've spiked and dipped, but it's probably going to stay in the 6s for the majority of the year. And that's where in our 8 ways to have a reduced mortgage, we go for ways that we can get you down to 3%, 4%, 5%. There's different tactics that we can use to get you an affordable mortgage now. And if not, again, the refinance option later. So there's options out there to get you in a home now, so that way you can start gaining a lot of the equity and appreciation that homeowners get to enjoy to build their wealth later on, rather than paying rent for another couple of years. I get it's not always ideal for somebody, for everybody. Everyone has their own situation, but if you're capable, it's worthy of having a conversation with a professional that can guide you, saying, here is the data points to guide you. All right. So interest rates not moving a lot, and they're not anticipated to move a lot. Let's go over our market. So the reason I keep bringing up low inventory and why we will likely see another housing collapse as far as inventory is concerned is this was our inventory from 2010. This is after 2008. 2010, you could see that it started to climb. It started to fall down quite drastically. And then this is COVID, where we had more sales than homes available on the market. We've seen some upticks, and we will this year, as of right now, analyzing the data, see a lot more inventory this year. Unless interest rates drop or something magnificent happens in the next couple months, we will see more inventory this year than last year based on the trajectories of this. Now, before I show you the chart I created, the actual amount of inventory that we're at right now is not enough, even with what I'm about to show you. Once those rates come down, the floodgates are going to come open. But this is an opportunity this summer to get ahead and get into a property, still have some negotiation, utilize all your addendums in there, home inspections, insurance policies are a big one now, things of that nature. We will see a collapse in inventory again should rates drop. But this summer, in and of itself, this is our trajectory. I don't have the exact percentages, but this is April. April of 23, April of 24, and April of 25. It was a consistent line for the last 2 years. So if we jump over into May is the same way. Our trajectory is putting us at a high inventory level. And same thing for June. So we anticipate every year over year, we have our peak inventory in the summertime. August is typically our peak seasons for inventory. Not always, sometimes it's August, September, sometimes July, but usually August is kind of the average. So then we're on trajectory to have more inventory. When I go back to my stats here, all right, give me 1 second. Our average price per square foot has leveled off, and there's really no indications that inventory is getting eaten up right now. So our list to sales ratios are at 100%. This is what I'm trying to get at right here. So it's leveling off. We're not seeing a huge bidding war this year, and inventory is still climbing. If we go back into my market watch for specifics, a little closer data to where we're at today, year over year, homes for sale from this time last year are up 20.7%, and sold is down 6% right here. So we already have indications that from April to May, we've had a lot more inventory and sales have slowed down. And we won't have the data until the 10th of next month to understand what is occurring between May and June, but you can very well anticipate it is going to climb like I am predicting. This is just me, off of basic trajectories such as this. All right, so it's a great time for buyers to jump in, get your pre-approval letter, read my blog about 8 ways to have a reduced mortgage, because that comes before putting in your offers. You got to have a lot of this taken care of first, and then some negotiation tactics in there. So working with your lenders, working with different options around there. So you have a grand opportunity coming up in the summertime, I think, before rates come down, and then you get your flood of buyers to get ahead of the curve, start building some of that equity. Let's see, Adam, they're a huge data market company, housing data market company. They're predicting May 26th will be May 27th is going to be our seller peak market when we get those list sales ratios over. They're saying 14%. Now that's a national average. We'll likely not see 14% over, but your best chance for list sales ratios around then. I don't agree with that. The way things are playing out in our region, I think it's probably actually going to happen in June, which is rare. It does happen, but it has happened in June before. So you come over here to my market watch. I think last time it happened in June for your list to sales ratio. April, May, December, June is in 2023. It was in June. We had a peak in June. And I think this year we're probably going to have it in June as well. There's a lot. We have a couple more weeks for Trump to finalize some of the stuff he's got going on. We've already seen inflation come down. I think the Fed's going to have no choice but to drop interest rates, and some of the lenders will bake those in weeks prior to that announcement. So June is going to be peak season for sellers, I think, for your bidding wars. But it's not going to be so intense like it was in COVID, where we're at 5.8% over list price. During this time, we were writing $50,000 to $100,000 over asking price, waive home inspection, waive financing, all that kind of stuff. I don't think we will see that something of that nature to occur, but I do believe we will see bidding wars return, particularly in the Pacific Northwest. We're a very high desirable area. We've got a lot going on here, pretty big economy. And so that is some of my market report. So be sure, if you have any specifics that you need to get through, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We can navigate it all. Just about any situation we have a solution for. Be sure to come check out my 8 proven ways to lower your monthly mortgage before you purchase. It's a great read. Lots of videos and tools in here that you can utilize to kind of help you understand, what all these things are about. Rate buy downs, VA assumption loans. Utilize our VAapp. It's very useful when you're traveling around town, looking at properties, or just trying to figure out your finances. And again, if you have any questions, my name is Cyrus Bonnet with Veterans Agents. I was the nation's first dedicated military realtor, and basically committed my entire business and self to helping veterans buy and sell homes. I understand there's a lot of veterans out there today, which is what we need, veteran real estate agents. However, there is a lot of opportunists out there that don't really know what they're doing. They just say they do. So that's it. We hope this is useful to you, and we hope to hear from you. Thanks. Bye-bye.